as you walk out. And today, I'm going to close with 9 steps to become a Velocity World Champion. Because I think that's the goal of every single one of you, is you want to be a champion. How many of you want to win here? Raise your hand if you want to win. Okay, and I want to share 9 things that have proven true and effective for me and many others to win in this industry. And the first thing comes about, folks, is you have to make the decision to win. You know, that may sound silly, but believe it or not, you have to decide right now that you want to win. Before you ever win at anything, you must decide that it's worth paying the price for. I mean, we talk about the good life. There's a reason why the good life is so important for you to define, because that's what makes it worth it. If you don't know what you're trying to get to, you don't know if it's worth whatever you have to do. I mean, how many of you saw it? I don't mean to call about, but, you know, Rick Renew get emotional on stage. You want to know why he was emotional? Because volunteer energy is his passion. You are his passion. It means something to him. It's not a business. And let me tell you something. When your business means something so important that it will drive an emotional response, you'll win. Because at that point, it isn't about a bottom line dollar that gets you up every day. It's about a passion and a purpose behind everything you do. That's someone who made a decision to win, not because there was money on the other side, but because of a passion. You've got to get that way, folks. At some point in the game, if you don't stand on this stage and you don't get choked up about talking about your business, it's not in you. You're in it, but it's not in you. But when that happens, when that moment, when you feel it coming on, you'll know that you are not just in Velocity, but Velocity is now in you. You've got to make a decision that it's worth paying whatever the price you have to pay to get your good life. Number 2, you need to develop a plan. You need to find out what it's going to take, and you need a detailed plan of it. We shared with you a 30-day plan. That's something we believe everyone can do. But beyond those first 30 days, you need to have a plan for what you want to do. What is your goal? You need to have long-term goals, but you better have short-term goals as well. Because if all you're looking at is that you want to make millions of dollars here, I promise you the adversity that comes along the way will make you lose sight of that goal. I always tell people, you need to have short-term goals and long-term thinking. Your goals have got to be baby step goals. You have to have victory. Nobody can stay in any game too long when they never get a taste of any victory. There has to be something. And that's why those short-term goals are so critical. Make it a goal to get to the 500 Club in your first 30 days. Make it a goal to be a director. Make it a goal to be a bronze, silver, gold in your first 69. Make those goals. Because those are going to give you small benchmark victories on your way to whatever you're looking for long-term as a platinum or diamond here. Number 3, this is the one that changed my life forever. Find a mentor. You can't do this alone, folks. You need to find someone to help you along the way. 99% of any success I've ever seen in this industry came because someone else who had done it before took me by the hand and showed me what it would take. Not because of any intelligence of mine, not because of experience. It all came because someone along the way saw me, grabbed me, and said, "Hey, I've done it, I'll show you." You have to have mentors in your life. And don't ever mistake a teacher from a mentor. Teachers are important. They teach. Mentors matter because those are the ones who have done it. Some teachers are mentors. I'm not trying to paint a picture that all teachers have it. I'm just saying that if someone has told you about how you can create success in your life, but they haven't created any in theirs, they're not qualified to mentor you. You've got to find somebody who's done it. Because only experience can provide mentorship. They have to have experienced it. And that's what we want to create for you in terms of an environment here, is that we want to provide that for you. But you need to find one outside. Anything you do, you need to find a mentor. And look, mentors are not always personal relationships. There's all kinds. I used to say on stages with thousands of people that John Maxwell was a mentor of mine. Now I will tell you that, by the way, how many of you know who John Maxwell is? I've only met John Maxwell 2 times in my life, and neither of those 2 were for any length of time or personal matter. But yet I would consider him a mentor. You know why? Because I've read his books for over a decade. And there's so much I've gleaned from John Maxwell's books that every day he's a mentor of mine because of what he speaks in through his writing. authors, speakers, historical figures, people that have done, it's not always just someone in person. There's all kinds of different folks that can mentor you, but make no mistake about it. If you want to win, you need a mentor to do it. Number 4, this is one of the biggest challenges many people have. You need to let your past go. You know, we live in a world today, unfortunately, where so much of it tells us that our future depends on our past. And the reality is that your past is just that. It's your past. Your future is what's in front of you. We need to stop living our life in a rearview mirror. I mean, so many. Can you imagine what would happen to you in your car if you drove every day looking in the rearview mirror, not the windshield? You'd crash. Period. Why? Because your future doesn't live in the rearview mirror. It lives only in front of you through your windshield. But yet, for some reason, we won't drive our car looking in the rearview mirror the whole time, but we live our lives doing it. We spend every day of our life living through our regrets of the past, living through the failures of ourselves or others we care about, thinking about people who once told you what you would or wouldn't be. That's what we spend so much time. And look, success has nothing to do with where you came from. It doesn't. You were all created the same. The decision you make is what you do, but you've got to let it go. Because if you don't, your past will haunt you. It's just a fact of our world today. The reason I fell in love with network marketing 15 years ago was one main thing. And it's the thing today that motivates me every day, and that is that there isn't one person that can't win if they want. Because their past doesn't matter. We don't care about your education. I'm impressed if you have more degrees than a thermometer, but it won't matter here. It won't. What will matter here is the same thing for everyone, a level playing field of what you want to accomplish. But you got to let your past go, because for some of you, your past has held you hostage, and you got to let it go. Number 5, you need to turn adversity into motivation. Greatest example of this I've ever been given is what I call the egg or the coffee bean. You need to decide right now whether you're an egg or a coffee bean. And you may not be excited about the choices, but I'll explain why. No matter what happens, long-term, short-term, life is going to dump boiling hot water on you. That's adversity. Adversity comes in many forms, from outside people telling you what you can or can't do, to your own mind every day making you believe you can't, to family members and tragedies and everything and above. Adversity is going to come. It is just life. It's the byproduct of a fallen world we live in. But your decision is how you act when that adversity comes your way. So what happens when boiling hot water goes onto an egg? It hardens the egg and it changes it from its original form. And it's no longer what it started out to be. What happens when hot water hits a coffee bean? The coffee bean changes the water and makes it something good. See, life is full of boiling hot water. The adversity of just being alive. But when that adversity comes on you, you have two choices. You can allow that adversity to change who you are and take you off course to where you were originally intending to go. Or you can take that adversity and change that and make it something better. But make no mistake about it, you'll have to make that decision at some point of how you're going to respond to it. Negativity can either be the gas or the water on your fire. But make no mistake about it, it's coming. Number 6, you need to work harder than others. You know, what I love about success in our industry is it's not a secret. It's not some formula that came from scientific labs. It's called hard work. And if you want to win, if you want to make more money or have more success than other people, then work harder than them. I'm not talking about 10 hours a day or 5 hours. I'm talking about when you are working your velocity business, however long a day it is, whether it's 10 minutes or an hour, whatever. Work it 100% for the time you work it, because it will pay off. You know, again, a mentor said something to me. If you treat your business like a multi-million-dollar company, over time it will deliver to you multi-million-dollar rewards. But if you treat it like a nickel and dime opportunity, then it will deliver you nickels and dimes. They didn't say how long you worked your business. They said how you treated your business. If you knew that you just started a business that could make millions of dollars for you long term, would you treat it like a hobby, or would you treat it like it mattered? I'm telling you, you got to work your business hard. Number 7, monitor your results daily and adjust your plan accordingly. Do not fall into the trap of business insanity, setting goals, continually missing them, and making no changes. That's what I see people do all the time. They set their goal, they create a plan, they don't reach their goal, they don't reach their goal, they don't reach their goal. And when you ask them what they did with their plan, what do they say? I just need to do more. No, you need a new plan. You need to make adjustments. You need to figure it out what you need to change about what you're doing. Remember, if what you're doing is not working, don't keep doing it. Adjust it. Figure it out. Make the appropriate changes. Number 8, don't let life veer you off course. I talked about this when I opened. Things are going to happen in normal life. I hope and pray for every single one of you, nothing bad happens to you. But I know one thing about every one of us in the room. We're all going to die one day. That's life. We can't get around that. Which means we're going to deal with what's associated with that as we live. All I'm telling you is that you're going to need to spend some time with people in those scenarios. You're going to need to prioritize your life. But what I'm saying to you is that don't put your business ever on the shelf. Adjust it. Do what you need to do. Make your priorities your priorities. But I see too many times that people just say, well, I'm just going to not work that right now while I deal with these other things. And I met one of them when the other things were dealt with and didn't regret that they didn't do something with their business during that time. Even if it was as much as one phone call a day. For when they let their business go and they stuck it on the shelf, it got dusty and it never came back on. Okay, don't let life veer you off. You will need to adjust your priorities according to life. If it happens to all of us, that's okay. What I'm saying is, don't put it on the shelf. Don't let it be, because it's hard to get it back going again. And lastly, and the one that I can't wait to see and celebrate, is handle your success properly. The greatest thing I've seen about people in this industry who have fought to win at the level of the top money earners is it creates humility. Because you've been through a lot. Just like you saw in Mr. Rick Renewed, a humble spirit. That doesn't come because he's just a humble guy. It comes from being humbled over years of business. That's how it works. The greatest gift you ever have in success is the experience you learned along the way to relate to others and have humility about it. Don't ever become content even when you're successful. Contentment is a disease, folks, in business. If you stop, there's no neutrality in our industry. You're either growing or you're dying. There is no standing still. You might think you are, but you're not. If you're not growing your business is dying. So no matter what kind of success you have, don't become content with it. That doesn't mean that when you're making a lot of money on a residual basis that you can't have a different lifestyle. Enjoy the results of your hard work. But don't become content. Because contentment is a disease that will infect your business and everyone else involved. And lastly, once you get there, folks, give it back. Be a mentor to someone else. Understand the blessings that you have and be a blessing to someone else. That's what I love about what we do. By the time you make it to the top, you don't even care about the money. You care about the life that you were given through that, and you want to give it to someone else. If you ever hear someone say they're lonely at the top, anyone ever heard that? Can I tell you what to tell them? Then get down to the bottom and bring someone else up with you. Because in our industry, there is no loneliness at the top. Because you can only get to the top because you brought so many other people along. So when you get there, be a blessing to someone else. Be an impact to them. 9 things. It's not all of it, folks. These are 9 things I've learned over time that have made a difference for me and hopefully will help you as well. I'm going to close with some announcements. How many of you are ready to hear some good things here?